What's going on, everybody? This is Nathan Payne, and today we're going to talk about how to set up a joint venture deal in only 5 steps. So, a joint venture deal or JV deal is an excellent way for any real estate investor to save time and money and make money. While many JV deals require little to no money, time is your most valuable asset. So, right now, we're going to see how following a simple 5-step process can make you a lot of money while saving you a ton of time along the way. So, the background of, the 5-step process and, how setting up a JV deal and following this process, where it came from, it really just come through trial and error and doing a lot of these. I mean, I analyze a lot of deals and I look at a lot of deals from other wholesalers and other people all the time. So I've just naturally created a process that works very well for me, that saves a lot of my time, because you could spend all day looking at deals and trying to find buyers for everyone, but you can't just dive in, and if someone brings you a deal, you can't just say, okay, yeah, I'll help you find a buyer, because they might not have a good deal. They might have a crappy deal that no one can sell and you can't help them. Or they might not even be the contract holder and they might be trying to JV on someone else's JV deal, and then eventually if you found a buyer, the deal would already be sold by the time you found someone, because the person you're dealing with doesn't even have the contract. So you got to be careful for a lot of that stuff. But the background of how I got into the 5-step process is just trial and error, and developing a process that has worked and helped me save a ton of my time and find good deals. So I know that everybody has their own process when they do anything, but the reason why this 5-step process for working with JV deals is so good, works so well for me, and I recommend it to others, because it saves you a lot of time. When I was first starting with JV deals, I would waste a lot of my time trying to help people without going through this 5-step process. And like I said, it just wasted a lot of my time, and everybody's time is extremely valuable. So this 5-step process to finding a JV deal and making sure you have one that's worth your time is extremely important to follow, unless you want to waste a lot of your time and energy. So, make sure that you follow this 5-step process, or if you don't want to follow it, make sure you have your own process to avoid working on a deal that's just a dud. So now that I've been talking about the 5-step process, you're probably wondering what it is. Like, what do you have to do in order to save your time and work these JV deals? So I'm going to break it down. So step 1 is first of all, you got to find a deal. You got to make relationships with wholesalers, agents, anyone that has a deal. You got to either make relationships and have people bring you deals, or go search them. Now, that's number 1, is searching for the deals. Now, I would love to tell you exactly where to find these deals. But there's so many different ways. You can go on Facebook groups. You can make, network with wholesalers. You can go to meetings. There's just many. So that's going to be included in the course. Number 2 is you got to analyze the deal. And that's why, the deal analysis course that we have is so important, because you can find many people that will give you their deals to JV, but that doesn't mean they have a deal. So you need to be able to analyze the deal, look at the numbers, ask the right questions, ask the person for pictures. Do you have pictures? Do we have access? Is the house vacant? You need to be able to analyze the deal and run comps and know, okay, could I sell this? Can I sell this if I'm going to spend my time? So number 2, you need to be able to analyze the deal. Number 3, you have to make sure that the person you're working with actually holds the contract to the property. Imagine, you spend all your time finding a buyer, you finally find someone, then the person you're working with doesn't even hold the contract, and they say, oh, sorry, the person I was working with sold it, I didn't know, and sorry for wasting your time. You have to make sure they're their contract holder. Number 4 is you need to have the right agreement to sign with them, so you're protected, and that you'll get paid if you bring a buyer. So that's number 4, is you have to sign the right paperwork. Number 5 is you have to find a buyer. Once you go through all those steps, you need to know how to be able to find a buyer. And that's the most important one. You need to be, if you're going to do all this work to find a deal, analyze it, are you going to be able to sell it? And do you know who you can sell it to? So that's the 5-step process to being able to get a deal done, a JV deal. And obviously it goes way more in depth than that, but that's the 5-step process I stick to. The moment I realized that I had something going with my 5-step process was after I was actively trying to find JV deals for a couple months. For the first couple months when I was doing it, I was wasting a lot of my time and energy trying to sell deals that were garbage, realizing, that I was working with people who didn't even have the contracts, and, I'd find a buyer and then the deal would be gone. I wasted a lot of my time in the beginning, but by going through this 5-step process, I learned to avoid those issues, those stumbling, blocks, those hurdles that, I was facing in the beginning. I'll give you an example. Me and my team, we were trying to hold JV and find a buyer for this deal. I think it was in Wyoming, and we were working really hard, and it was like an apartment complex deal. And eventually we found somebody that was interested, and the person that we were working with, we didn't verify that he had the contract. So when we found the buyer, we were like, okay, we're ready to go. Oh, he told us, oh, sorry, I actually was working with another wholesaler and they sold it. So, my whole team, myself, we wasted our time trying to find a buyer. And if we would have followed the 5-step process and found out he had the contract. Now, I'm not saying you can't work with someone that's JVing, with someone else, but you just got to make sure you understand and be up to date, if they're, working with someone else, or if they found someone, so you don't keep working. But again, the moment I knew I had something good with my 5-step process is when I stopped wasting my time and started going through it and started getting more JV deals done quicker, faster, and easier, and making more money. So just be aware that, if you don't follow the process, you're probably going to waste a lot of your time and energy in the beginning. Not money, because you didn't spend money to get market to get the deal. If you did spend money to get lists and, market to get buyers, then yes, you did waste your money, but you can avoid this with the 5-step program and process. If you're new to investing, or maybe you just need to sharpen your skills, but you struggle with finding and identifying potential investments, and you're not really sure how to professionally analyze potential investment opportunities in order to confidently choose the best investment opportunities to pursue, then take advantage of our free courses in the link below, where investors just like yourself go to learn how to implement advanced investment strategies.